Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Okay, guys. Okay. Before we continue on, does anybody have any questions?
No.
No.
No, everybody's clear so far? Good. Okay. Now let's just see what we have. Okay, so we were still in, yes, okay, the muscular system. And we mainly could say that, okay, yes, the synapse. Let's do it this way. Synapse between nerve and muscle. It's called we can say it's okay, neuro muscular junction. Okay. Now, what we say yesterday at okay, yes, just okay, through the nerve is going to be okay, a chemical signal. We call that a neurotransmitter. Common, yes, okay, the yes, okay, we say acetylcholine. Now that is going to act upon, yes, okay, what we can call acetylcholine receptors. Okay, now probably one thing that okay, yes, that I didn't get the chance to yes, okay, mention yesterday is that okay, in this area here that we call yes, okay, the I can say yes, okay, synaptic left is also going to be yes, okay, an enzyme which is going to be called acetylcholine. Esterase. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Is that going to do? This mean is going to yes, okay. We can say it's okay. Break down. Because that's okay, leftover. Acetylcholine. Okay. Or mainly it's okay, prevent muscle to yes, okay, going into yes, okay, continuous contraction. So whatever is okay, acetylcholine didn't yes, okay, react upon yes, okay, receptor side is going to yes, okay, be chemically broken down by an enzyme called acetylcholine esterase. Is that clear?
Yep.
Good. Okay. Now after that is okay, this acetylcholine is okay, is going to is okay. Cause changes in the muscle that's going to is okay. Initiate, you can say, the contraction. Now that acetyl ATP and things like that was okay. Start kicking in. Okay, guys. Now I got a couple of okay. As many as okay, just 3 small videos that I may play. Okay. Which will mean yes, okay, tell us a bit about. Okay. Show us yes, okay, how the contraction of your muscle works. So, are you guys able to see this girl who is sitting?
Yes. Yep.
Good. Okay, good. Just want to show you the right screen. And we can turn on the volume.
You use muscles every day to do activities. This woman is using muscles to breathe, circulate blood, and move her hand to take notes. Your cardiac and smooth muscle tissues are involuntary. You do not consciously control their actions. Skeletal muscle works under voluntary control. Skeletal muscles are composed of bundles of muscle fibers. Muscle fibers are long cylindrical cells containing several nuclei. Muscles will contract or relax when they receive signals from the nervous system. A neuromuscular junction is the site of the signal exchange. This is where the synaptic bulb of an axon terminal and muscle fiber connect. Muscle fibers are composed of many myofibrils. A myofibril contains contractile units called sarcomeres. Sarcomeres run adjacent to one another down the length of the myofibril. Each sarcomere consists of alternating thick and thin protein filaments, giving skeletal muscle its striated appearance. The muscle contracts when these filaments slide past each other. The thick filaments are myosin, which are anchored at the center of the sarcomere, called the M line. The thin filaments are composed of the protein actin, which are anchored to the Z lines on the outer edges of the sarcomere. Because the actin filaments are anchored to the Z lines, the sarcomere shortens from both sides when actin filaments slide along the myosin filaments. Although the action between the filaments is described as sliding, the myosin filament actually pulls the actin along its length. The cross bridges of the myosin filaments attach to the actin filaments and exert force on them to move. This action is known as the sliding filament mechanism of muscle contraction. In this model, the sarcomeres shorten without the thick or thin filaments changing in length. A contraction begins when a bound ATP is hydrolyzed to ADP and inorganic phosphate. This causes the myosin head to extend and can attach to a binding site on actin, forming a cross bridge. An action called the power stroke is triggered, allowing myosin to pull the actin filament toward the M line, thereby shortening the sarcomere. ADP and inorganic phosphate are released during the power stroke. The myosin remains attached to actin until a new molecule of ATP binds, freeing the myosin to either go through another cycle of binding and more contraction or remain unattached to allow the muscle to relax. Muscle contractions are controlled by the actions of calcium. The thin actin filaments are associated with regulatory proteins called troponin and tropomyosin. When a muscle is relaxed, tropomyosin blocks the cross-bridge binding sites on actin. When calcium ion levels are high enough and ATP is present, calcium ions bind to the troponin, which displaces tropomyosin, exposing the myosin binding sites on actin. This allows myosin to attach to a binding site on actin, forming a cross bridge. Calcium ions are stored in the sarcoplasmic reticulum and are released in response to signals from the nervous system to contract. Neurotransmitter molecules are released from a neuron and bind to receptors, which depolarizes the membrane of the muscle fiber. The electrical impulse travels down the T-tubules and opens calcium stores. Calcium ions flow to the myofibrils, where they trigger a muscle contraction. As the actin and myosin slide along each other, the entire sarcomere shortens as the Z lines draw closer to the M line. As the sarcomeres in myofibrils contract, the entire muscle fiber will shorten. When muscle fibers contract in unison, a muscle can produce enough force to move the body, allowing you to take notes.
Did that make any sense?
Yeah.
Right, okay, so that was pretty much okay as what I tried to explain yesterday. Now, as I say, it's okay, please do not worry about things like, okay, the Z line and M line and things like that. Okay. As long as you just have, okay, the basic concept of this thing here is okay, you should be good. Now, guys, I didn't choose the music that is playing with this video here. Oh, okay.
We move our bodies by contracting skeletal muscle. While the results of this action are plain to see, the mechanism behind the action is not. Contraction of skeletal muscle tissue occurs when actin and myosin myofilaments slide past one another, causing the sarcomere to shorten. It is important to note that the individual myofilaments do not change length themselves, but instead overlap each other to shorten the sarcomere. Moving in for a closer look, we can see the details of how this occurs. The molecules you see here are myosin, which at rest has both adenine diphosphate and phosphate molecules attached at the individual myosin heads, actin, tropomyosin, and troponin. When we decide to move, calcium is released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. These molecules bind with the troponin molecules. This causes the tropomyosin molecules to move, revealing myosin attachment sites on the actin myofilaments. The single phosphate attached to the myosin heads gets released as the heads move to connect with the attachment sites on the actin. The resulting formation is called a cross bridge. The remaining adenine diphosphate molecule is then expended in what is called a power stroke, when the myosin heads pull the actin inward. Once the adenine diphosphate attachment is spent, adenine triphosphate molecules attach themselves to the myosin heads. These molecules trigger the release of the myosin heads from the actin attachment sites and are immediately broken down into adenine diphosphate and a single phosphate as the heads move back into their resting position. This is called the recovery stroke. If calcium is still present, the cycle will repeat again, and the sarcomere will continue to shorten until the calcium ions are transported back into the sarcoplasmic reticulum and the muscle relaxes.
Okay. I didn't choose the music for this one, sorry. Okay, guys. So that's how it works. Right, okay. So you could see, yes, okay, the main molecule ATP. Now that's as we talked about earlier, mainly came from the mitochondria. Okay, and that's why we said that, okay, yes, primary, yes, okay, to fulfill, yes, okay, the ATP requirements for the muscles, is that they're going to, yes, okay, have a whole bunch of, or a lot of, yes, okay, mitochondria is going to be present in a myocyte or muscle cell. Okay. Now just as okay, we can say it's okay, the last major topic of our chapter. Okay, guys. And now just look at it in a straight way. We can say that, okay, yes, okay, good. We can say, yes, okay, we have a bone. And we can say, yes, okay, we have an other bone. Okay. Now these two bones, yes, okay, they're going to form a joint. Now we can say that, okay, yes, related to, let's say, yes, okay, this joint here, so okay, we can say, yes, okay, that would be, yes, okay, a muscle. Okay, so this is going to be, yes, okay, your muscle. That's more like it. Okay. Now, what we said yesterday that, okay, yes, continuation of the endomycin, epimycin, and the perimycin of this muscle here. Mainly, yes, okay, will produce what we call tendons. And it actually is, okay, going to be the tendons that we can say is, okay, attach onto the bones. Is that clear?
Yep.
Good. Now we can say that, okay, now when this muscle here is okay, when this muscle here is okay, will contract. When this muscle here is okay, contracts, is going to is okay, get shorter. And that may cause that it will pull onto, let's say it's okay, one of the tendons. And let's say it's okay that it pulls onto this tendon here that attaches to this bone. That's mainly going to cause this bone to move this way here. Clear? Did that make sense? So whatever we did here is okay. We actually, it's okay, created, that's okay. We actually said, okay, we had a movement of a joint by this muscle here. Now, whatever movement this muscle here is okay, caused of this joint, that's going to be, it's okay, the main, because that's okay, action of the muscle. Okay.
Is the dark green part of the tendon?
No, the dark green, I mean, it's okay, just said this part here.
Yeah.
No, I just said this is when the muscle contracts.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so when the muscle contracts, what happens? What happened when the muscle contracts? First, it was like this. Okay, let's say, okay, that's okay, that these are the actin filaments, and now they're just going to be pulled by the myosin. So the whole sarcomere became shorter. So first, that's okay, the length of the muscle was this much. It shortens. The sarcomere shortens. The whole, that's okay, fiber shortens. The fascicle shortens. The whole muscle shortens.
Okay, that makes
Did
sense.
that make sense?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. And what is that going to do is pull on the tendon. Okay. So one end of the tendon is just okay from the muscle. One end of the tendon is going to just okay be attached onto the bone. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's actually is okay the muscle that is pulling onto the tendon, which is pulling onto the bone. And that's just okay how you will have a movement of, yes, okay, that bone actually is okay going to move, yes, okay, across the joint line. But we then we say, okay, this is going to be such and such movement of this and this joint. Did that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so that will become, yes, okay, we can say it's okay, yes, okay, we can say it's okay, the action of this muscle here. Okay, which mainly means, okay, what kind of movement is it that it crosses across which and which and which joint? Did that make sense?
Yep.
Good. Okay. Now let us say that, okay, yes, in this instance, yes, okay, we say, okay, let's say that, okay, the muscle that we were talking about here, for instance, okay, was the biceps. Right, okay. Now, when the biceps contract, what is that going to cause? Well, okay, it says, okay, the joint that we will have here is going to be, as okay, your, for instance, it's okay, the elbow joint. Clear? Okay, so we can mean this, okay, as a contraction of the biceps, it's going to cause flexion of the elbow joint. Okay, which mainly will mean that, okay, yes, for this action here, which is going to be, yes, okay, flexion of the elbow joint, yes, okay, that's when, okay, the biceps, that is going to be referred to as an agonist. Okay. Did that make sense? So the biceps is going to be, it's okay, an agonist as we talk on of the action that it performs, which is going to be, it's okay, flexion of the elbow. Did you guys get that? So what happens, that's okay, when you flex our elbow joint. This movement of the elbow, that's going to be called flexion. That's actually, that's okay, due to the action of your biceps. Where you mean, you can say, okay, for flexion of the elbow, yes, okay, the biceps, that's going to be, yes, okay, an agonist, or. That agonist can also, yes, okay, be referred to as being a, so agonist, and or, yes, okay, that can also be referred to as a primer.
You said primer?
Primer.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. So an agonist can also be known as a primer. So whether you say that, okay, as for flexion of the elbow, yes, okay, the biceps is the agonist, or whether you say it's okay for flexion of the elbow, that's okay, the biceps is the primer. Both are correct because both mean the same. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So any movement caused by a muscle, you can mainly say, okay, that muscle is going to be, it's okay, the agonist or the primary or primer responsible for that movement. Did you guys get that? Okay. Now let's say it's okay, I have my elbow joint flexed. Okay, this is flexion of my elbow joint. Now, if I want to undo this flexion here, which mainly for me is okay, that I want to extend my elbow, right? Okay, it's flexed. I want to extend it out. Now, there's going to be, it's okay, another muscle that actually is okay, will, we can say, okay, now become, let's say, this way. So it's okay, the movement that I want to, is okay, perform now is going to be, we can say, it's okay, extension of the elbow joint. Is that clear?
Yep.
Okay, and what is that going to be? That's actually going to be, okay, the opposite of flexion. Where it's going to be that, okay, yes, the elbow joint is going to move like this again. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Now, in this case, yes, okay, what is it that I will have? I will have, okay, yes, another agonist. There's going to be, yes, okay, another muscle which is going to be, yes, okay, the agonist or primer for this movement here. Okay, and that muscle is going to be, yes, okay, what we'll call it, okay, the triceps. So yes, okay, your triceps is going to be, yes, okay, here. Did you guys get that? So yes, okay, my elbow was flexed. That was because of the biceps. Clear? Now I want to extend the movement. Oh, sorry, extend the movement. Extend my elbow. Clear? That is going to cause that, okay, now there's going to be, it's okay, another muscle that will be responsible for that motion or movement of my elbow joint, which is the extension, which is going to be due to the triceps. Did that make sense? So biceps cause flexion of the elbow joint. Triceps cause extension of the elbow joint. Clear? When I say it's okay, extension of the elbow joint, then the primer is going to be the triceps. Because that's going to be the muscle that will cause the elbow joint to extend. Whereas if I say it's okay, flexion of the elbow joint, it's going to be the biceps that will be the primer or agonist. Did that make sense? Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Now, when we then, yes, okay, we can say it's okay, compare, let's do it this way. And we can say it's okay. Well, okay, yes. Triceps versus biceps. Where we, for instance, now if we say that, okay, yes, the bicep is the primer, or what we as okay will call the agonist. Then the triceps is going to be as okay what we will call as okay an antagonist. Whereas on the other hand, if you say yes, okay, our primer or agonist was the triceps, then in that instance, yes, okay, the biceps is going to be the antagonist. Okay, what we get, or what this is going to lead to is, we will say, yes, okay, that will cause us, okay, flexion of the elbow. Whereas this will lead to extension of the elbow. Okay. So, what is an antagonist? Now, if you just look at the word antagonist, now that's okay. The ant, actually, that's okay, comes from anti. And then we just say it's okay, agonist. Right, okay. So we can maybe say, okay, an antagonist is going to be a muscle that is going to, yes, okay, work opposite, okay, yes, okay, or perform the opposite action of an agonist. Okay, which we mainly saw here. That, okay, so if our agonist was the biceps, that will lead to, yes, okay, flexion of the elbow. Where, okay, was going to be the tricep, that was going to, yes, okay, perform, yes, okay, lead to the opposite of this action here. Is okay, which would have been the extension of the elbow. So based on that, we can say, okay, the triceps does the opposite action of the biceps. And that's how it's okay, it becomes just okay, the antagonist to the biceps. But likewise, if your triceps was the primer or agonist, which was going to lead to performing the extension of the elbow. The biceps would do the opposite of that, which was going to be flexion of the elbow. And that's how we mainly can say that, okay, yes, since the triceps was the antagonist of the biceps, so is the biceps going to be the antagonist of the bicep or triceps, because they perform two opposite actions when they become the primers. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Right, okay. Okay. So when an antagonist to a muscle kicks into action, well, first of all, it's okay that become the agonist of as the muscle that it will act against. Not act against, but it's okay, mean it's okay, just perform an action or a movement that is going to be opposite of the previous agonist. Any questions? So an agonist is mainly it's going to be the muscle that we refer to as the muscle that will perform any primary movement. An antagonist is just going to be a muscle that performs the movement opposite to that agonist. Okay, but there's no question about it, guys. When I flex the elbow, the primer or the agonist is going to be the biceps. Now, when I want to do the opposite, which is going to be extension, that's when my primer or the agonist becomes the triceps. And what's going to, you can say, do the opposite of extended elbow is going to again be the biceps, which then become the primer and as the antagonist of the triceps. Did that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good. Now that's going to be we can say muscles. So any questions about what a primer or an agonist is versus an antagonist?
No.
No.
Okay, good. Now there's going to be other muscles. Okay, now here we don't really need to go into the names and so on, but we can say they're going to be referred to as being synergistics. Now, what this word synergistic actually will mean is going to be we can say reinforcers. Okay, so what is that they're going to do? They're going to be muscles that are going to reinforce or we can say actually maybe we can say assist the primer, or what we also call the agonist in performing the action. So for instance, when we said flexion of the elbow joint. Now your primer for that was going to be the agonist was going to be the biceps. Okay, but what are going to be synergistic muscles? They mean there's going to be muscle that as primarily assists the primer or agonist to perform the action. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So mainly as okay, you can say as okay. When you talk and you go into as if you were to as okay, talk about as okay, all the muscles that's okay around the elbow as okay. Even as okay, these synergistics as okay, their action will still have been as okay because we talk as used as or talked as okay, the biceps being the prime as okay, their action was still going to be flexion of the elbow. Okay. But what they actually is okay are doing is mainly is okay, just going to assist the primer or reinforce as okay the action that the primer or agonist muscle was going to be performing. Did you guys get that?
Yes. Yep.
Good. Now we can say it's okay, a last kind of muscle. And we mainly as okay, mainly we call that a fixator. Now we can mainly as okay, just put this thing and say it's okay that okay, these are muscles that now they're not really going to just okay play a motion or play a part in the actual movement of the joint caused by the primer, maybe it's okay assisted or reinforced by the synergistic. But if you look at the word fixator, it means it's okay, these are going to be muscles that mean it's okay, we can say it's okay. Stabilizes the joint during the motion. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Or have it fixed. Okay. Now, guys, in the next chapter, it's okay when we start talking about joints. All we're not going to go into it's okay. A whole lot of focus, details of focus, joints, but you may as okay see that okay as some joints, or there's going to be as okay degree of movements of joints, and you can mainly say okay, the more free the movement of a joint is going to be, the less stable is it that it will be. So you can say, okay, more fixators, well, okay, provide, you can say, okay, extra stability to the joint. But that extra stability comes with a price, which is going to be as okay, reduced movement. Now, most of our joints, you can say, as okay, the shoulder joint is probably as okay, one of the least stable joints. Okay, but that's why as okay, also has okay a wider range of movement, right? Okay, you can move your shoulder joint in a greater degree as okay along different planes. But that also causes that okay, it's easy to yes, okay, get what you can call as okay, dislocated. So yes, okay, one may yes, okay, prevent that dislocation is going to be as okay, fixators. Okay. So they don't really as okay, you can say it's okay, perform any action that will lead to as okay, the movement of a joint, but rather vice versa. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
But the two are, is okay, the main two important ones is going to be, is okay, what is an agonist, also known as primer? What is going to be, is okay, an antagonist? Clear? So an agonist is going to be, as okay, a muscle that is being referred to as okay when you talk about any movement. So for flexion of the elbow, that's okay. My agonist was the biceps, and the antagonist was going to be the triceps. Clear? Where we go to the opposite movement and say it's okay, extension of the elbow, then in that case, the triceps will be the agonist and the biceps will be the antagonist. Did that make sense? Okay.
Yep.
Now, in your upper limb, from here to here, okay, all the anterior muscles or muscles on the anterior side are mainly going to be flexors. Look here. This is the anterior side, right? If this was okay, if you keep it in, that's okay, the anatomical position, that's okay, the palm of my hand is going to be, it's okay, the anterior surface. And the muscles on this side here is okay, where they contract, what do they cause? We can say it's okay, flexion of all joints. Did that make sense? Whereas, okay, yes, on the muscles on the posterior side, when they contract, well, okay, yes, that's going to cause extension of the joints. Okay. So that's why we talk about as okay, different muscle compartments. Okay. Muscle compartments. As okay, those muscles here is okay, could all be commonly referred to as flexors of, yes, okay, shoulder, elbow, wrist, and okay, yes, carpophalangeal joints and interphalangeal joints. Where okay, the muscles on the posterior side or your upper limb is going to be extensors. Now it's the opposite. Oh, it's okay. For the lower limb, it's a little bit, it's okay. More is okay. Twisting and turning around. Because, okay, the anterior muscles is going to be as okay. Flexors for your hip. But then it's going to be as okay. Extensors for your knee. Okay. So, and that's why I say it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you don't have to go into it's okay. The whole detail. Because then we should talk about okay, the name of individual muscles. Where do they originate from? Where do they insert onto? Things like that. So we don't need to go into all those details. Now let's just see, guys. Okay. Okay, guys, can you guys see this fellow here?
Yep.
Okay. And you can see my cursor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Now this muscle here, this is what they call the temporalis. This is one of the major muscles of your, we can mean it as, okay, that's going to be as, okay, the major muscle that enables you to chew on food, or what we also will call as, okay, a masseter. Okay. Okay. And you can actually feel it if you place your hands here. That movement that you feel is okay by your temple here, that's actually as, okay, this muscle contracting and relaxing as you. And we can say, okay, that's the major muscle that, okay, as moves, yes, okay, what we call the temporal mandibular joint. Okay. That's fine. We'll talk a little bit about that joint when we get to the skeletal system. Okay. And that's why it's okay. We can say it's okay. Many books may, it's okay, put these two systems together. The skeletal system and the muscular system are called the musculoskeletal system. Okay. But this one mainly is okay, your temporalis. Clear? Good. Okay, guys, now just look at this dude here. This fellow here. Let me use this one here. You can see this fellow here. Now this fellow actually is called as, okay, the sternocleidomastoid. The sternocleidomastoid. Oopsie. And guys, that's actually as, okay, a muscle that goes all the back from here, yes, okay. Behind your ear, yes, okay, that bony protuberance that you have is called the mastoid process of your temporal bone. That's where it inserts into. It originates from two heads, which is going to, yes, okay, be relatively or respectively from the sternum, also known as your chest bone. Cleido here is mainly as, okay, coming from the clavicle, which is your collarbone. So that's where it originates, and this is where it inserts. And that's actually going to be the muscle that enables you to turn your head this way. Did that make sense? Okay. Now, the reason that I brought this muscle up is that, okay, when you guys go for, yes, okay, we can say, yes, okay, scanning of, yes, okay, different structures in the neck. This is going to be, yes, okay, one of the major muscles that you will be using as an anatomical landmark. Okay. As a matter of fact, guys, yes, right here is okay between, yes, okay, your, or it's okay on the anterior surface of your sternocleidomastoid and by the thyroid cartilage. That's going to be as, okay, where you will find, okay, as a major vessel that is responsible for supplying blood to your more major structures of the head and neck, which is going to be as, okay, the carotid artery. Okay. Now another reason that, okay, yes, I put this fellow here. It's okay, you may look at this name and say, it's okay, how in the blue do I remember this? Now you can just break it up and see it's okay, sterno from sternum, cledo from clavicle, and mastoid. Yeah. So yes, okay, it's not only just going to yes, okay, be the name of the muscle, but also tells you yes, okay, the points where this muscle here is attached onto. Now I remember, yes, okay, for our first test in anatomy, we had this little book that we call gross anatomy, or general anatomy, as you may call it. Now, one of the muscles, yes, okay, mentioned in that because it's okay, classification of muscles, skeletal muscles, so on and so. This was one of the muscles that was written. And it took me and 2-3 of my study buddies 15 minutes just to remember this name here. Okay, that was in the beginning. But when we actually, it's okay, later on, it's okay, it's okay. Later on, the course starts talking about, it's okay, studying the details of this muscle here. What's its action? What's its nerve supply? What's this? What's that? So on, so on, so. What are the relations? The name of the muscle was okay as the thing that we was okay that we were least concerned about. So one thing is okay, which in the beginning may look difficult, is not impossible. Okay, eventually it's okay. You will get it. Okay. The only thing that requires is that okay, is you put a little effort into the things. Okay. So that's okay. A muscle which to begin with was a nightmare. Just yes, okay. Remember his name. 15 minutes. Right. Okay. Yes. Okay. Became well. Okay. Later on, yes. Okay. We didn't even have to think about it. Not even yes. Okay. The spelling. It was just automatically. Yes. Okay. Come. But it's okay, guys. If somebody says okay, okay. Now, how are you? Yes. Okay. You can say it's okay. Make this muscle, yes, okay, become more visible or easy to mark. Yes, okay, you may, yes, okay, we just ask the patient, okay, do you mind turning your head this way? And that's how it becomes more prominent, mainly because that's how that's going to happen when it contracts. Yep. Okay, guys. Now you can see this one here. It's okay, which is green, blue, and yellow, right? Not green, blue, and yellow. Sorry, green, blue, and red. Sorry. Okay, that's your deltoid. Okay, that's okay. As we can say, it's okay. The major muscle of your is okay on the outer side of your shoulder joint. This fellow here. Clear? Okay. Now the reason that they, for instance, yes, okay, have it colored in 3 colors here. Okay, red, green, and blue. It is mainly as okay, primary cause okay, the origin of the red, the origin of the green, and the origin of the blue is different. The second is that, okay, this is also going to be as okay, a muscle that may as okay do different movements of primarily as okay, you can say it's okay, your elbow joint. So the red fibers, they were made as okay, cause flexion of the elbow joint. The blue fibers or the blue color fibers is okay, when they contract, that's going to cause extension of the elbow joint. And the green fibers, that's going to cause abduction of your elbow joint. So that's okay. This is a muscle that actually is okay. May play as okay, may be responsible for different actions, across the same joint. Oopsie, sorry. Did that make sense?
So that's the one that moves the arm, right? That's muscles that move the arm.
You can put it this way.
Okay.
Because okay, if I go like this, it would have been the red. If I go opposite, like this, that's going to be as okay the green. And if I go like this, okay, so you can say okay, bow cause extension. That's okay. Sorry, flexion of the elbow joint, extension of the elbow joint, and abduction of the elbow joint. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now here is okay. Now not really, but okay. I just came across this picture. So okay, it's moving, it's dancing, it's twisting around. So why not? Okay, but that's going to be as okay. Just a muscle called as okay the subscapularis. Okay, and it mainly as okay runs on the anterior surface of your scapula. And scapula is made as okay, just another word for your shoulder blade. And when they say it's okay, sub is going to is okay, be underneath the scapula. That's why they call it the subscapularis. Okay, guys, here is okay the fellows that we talked about earlier. Your biceps. And, well, okay, yes, it's opposite, which is the triceps, or what we call it here. Now, the reason that we call it biceps is mainly as okay because it has two heads of origin. So originates just okay from 2 points. That's why we call it biceps. Where we can say, okay, we call this other one here is okay, the triceps, because it originates from 3 heads. Okay, red, green, and blue. Okay, so it's actually going to originate from 3 points. Okay. And, well, okay, yes, in your thigh, you have, okay, yes, an equivalent muscle, which is just going to, yes, okay, be what they call, is okay, the quadriceps, which may mean that it will originate from 4 points. Okay, so here's okay, the word sep is mainly as okay for heads or seps, which was heads of origin. Clear? But here is okay, we can say it's okay. This one here is okay, that is the tricep. This one here is okay, it's a bicep. And this one back here, that's the tricep. And they are both an agonist and antagonist to one another. Okay, because okay, the action performed by the biceps, which is flexion of the elbow, is going to be as okay antagonized by the triceps, which will be extension of the elbow. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Now, coracobrachialis. And again, it's okay. You can see it's okay. Most muscle, many muscles, it's okay, may be named in accordance to, it's okay, part of origin and insertion. Now, coraco here is mainly, it's okay, just going to be, it's okay, a small part of your sternum. No, not sternum, sorry. Scapula. What we actually is okay call the coracoid process. Okay, so that's one point that's okay where it originates from, and it actually is going to just okay insert into the brachii or yes okay your upper arm. Clear?
Yeah.
Good. Now, guys, okay, as I just said earlier, it's okay quadriceps. So pretty much okay as that big muscle that you have is okay on the front side of your on the anterior side of your thigh is going to be the quadriceps. And why mainly? That's okay because it originates from four different bones from four different heads of origin. So that's pretty much okay what they just call as okay the quadriceps. So your biceps, two heads, triceps, three heads, and here is okay the quadriceps. Okay. Now this is made as okay. We can say as okay. It made as okay will be as okay a flexor of your hip joint, but it actually is okay may also be as okay an extensor of your knee joint. Okay. This one here is okay the gluteus maximus. Now actually that's okay the major muscle of your buttock. Now deeper to this one is going to be as okay a smaller muscle, which is going to be called the gluteus medius. And deeper and smaller to that is going to be as okay another muscle which is going to be the gluteus minimus. So we can mean it says okay we have three gluteal muscles. The maximus, which is the biggest one. Then we have okay the medius, which is going to just okay be deeper to this and smaller. And then we have okay the minimus, which is going to be the smallest and the deepest. Right, okay. Well, right now, that's okay. As you are sitting on your gluteus maximus muscle. Any questions?
No.
Okay. And you can maybe say, okay, this is going to be okay a major extensor of your hip joint, which means yes, okay, will kick in yes, okay, as you get up from your chairs. Now, guys, this fellow here, don't worry about that source manager, okay, just a picture that I came across. But this is made as okay, your gastrocnemius, or what some people also will call as okay, the calf muscles. Okay, so this is as okay a posterior view of the process. You can say this is that's okay, yes, okay, your gluteus maximus. But one thing that's going to be important about this fellow here is okay that it actually is okay inserts into the heel bone. But this actually is going to insert into the heel bone by okay this tendon here, which they call as okay the Achilles tendon. Okay, so that's actually as okay going to be the tendon of your gastrocnemius, which is as okay just a technical name for your calf muscles. Okay. It's going to attach onto the heel bone, the big bone of your heel, with help of as okay what we call the Achilles tendon. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. tibialis anterior. Now, what does the word anterior tell you? That this muscle here is okay, runs on, is found on the anterior side. Okay, to your tibia. That's okay. The medial bone of your leg. Okay. Now, guys, lastly, yes, okay, when we talk about blood vessel, there's going to be, yes, okay, a muscle that so there's going to be an artery under this same name here, which you may say, yes, okay, it's going to be running like with this muscle here. Okay. Whereas, okay, it's a smaller muscle, yes, okay, of your leg known as the tibialis anterior. Some people may call it anterior tibialis. Both names are correct. Rectus abdominis. Well, like somebody have heard of the six packs. Six packs, yes, okay, that is your rectus abdominis. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. And well, okay, what we actually have here is that's okay, that okay as the three packs on one side and the three packs on the other side are not attached to any bones. By as okay, mainly are going to be as okay intervened by as okay, what we can call as okay fascia. Okay, which is a kind of okay as fibrous tissue sheet between yes, okay, sorry, between yes, okay, muscles. But the yes, okay, in the center, the yes, okay, a pack from the right side and the pack from the left side are not going to be as okay attached to a bone, but actually it's okay again, it's okay a fibrous strap of fibrous tissue here, which they actually is okay called the linea alba. Mainly because okay, if you look at it, it's going to be pretty white. So it's made as okay a white line if you cut up the skin. Okay, so line is linea alba. What does alba mean?
White.
White. Just like we said yesterday, albinos. Right, okay. Or you may have heard of, is she a Jessica or a Jennifer? Jessica Alba?
Jessica.
Jessica. Okay. So that's okay. They call it linea alba mainly. It's okay because it looks like the white line between, it's okay, a pack on the right side and a pack on the left side. And then you have three packs on both sides, right? Okay. Once, yes, okay, the curse of, okay, is belly fat starts to develop. So, yes, okay, your technical name for, yes, okay, the six packs is going to be rectus abdominis. Okay, you don't need to, yes, okay, worry about all these names here. Okay, but we can make this okay, just as okay, different muscles of the face. Now, all of these muscles here of the face, they are going to be called as okay, or they're going to be referred to as the muscles of facial expression. And nowadays we can say, okay, muscles of the smiley faces or emojis. Okay. They're all going to just okay be supplied by one single nerve, which is called the facial nerve. Okay, so all the muscles of your facial expression are going to be supplied by a nerve called the facial nerve. That is actually okay the seventh cranial nerve. Okay, is going to be as okay the facial nerve. Okay, just some. That's okay. Muscle groups. Okay, so we can say it's okay here. The biceps, here the bags of the triceps, the deltoid, the rectus abdominis. Okay, this muscle here, and or this muscle here, or we can say it's okay. This fellow here, for instance, or this fellow is going to be it's okay. What they call the pectoralis major. Okay, where we actually is okay. Deeper to this, have okay as a smaller muscle that's going to be called the pectoralis minor. Okay, so and so. And it's okay again. Well, okay, yes. Muscles in different groups, muscle. Okay, but as I said, you don't need to just okay. Remember all these names here. Okay. But I can say it's okay. The least that I would like you guys to remember was what were your biceps, what were your triceps, sternocleidomastoid. It may take you 15 minutes now, but that's fine. Okay. What else did we had? Well, okay, at the deltoid, quadriceps, your rectus abdominis or your six packs. Okay. Small names like that. Any questions?
So we don't have to know every muscle, but those ones are the
No.
important ones right now.
No, because there are 369 different muscles.
Yeah. Okay.
But okay, not 365 different names, because a lot of muscles are going to repeat. Okay, right and left. Okay, so right bicep is one, left bicep is another. Okay. Now, is there any questions about chapter number 5? So as long as you know things such as, okay, what was the sarcomere, what was filaments, what were fibers, what was fascicle, what was a muscle, what was a tendon. Okay, what do you mean by being an agonist? What is going to be an antagonist? What is going to be a synergistic? What is going to be a fixator? What's the neuromuscular junction? Things like that. Okay, very basic stuff. Okay, guys? Clear? But as you should know that, okay, this is not going to be on the quiz tomorrow. So you may just keep that handy for you as, okay, your midterm. Okay, guys, now just take a short break, and okay, as when we come back, we may get started with the skeletal system. And before we start that, guys, this is going to be a chapter where there's going to be a lot of names. Okay, now I try to make it as easy for you guys as possible. Okay. So good. So should I say that I see you guys at 10:35? Okay, have fun then. Okay, guys. Okay, guys, welcome back. Now, okay. So let's try to continue on with the next chapter. our next chapter, we can say next chapter is the previous chapter, which is chapter number 4, okay? Where we will talk about the skeletal system. Really good. So chapter number 4, the skeletal system. Very convenient, say that skeletal is pertaining to the skeleton. Right, okay. And we can say, okay, what makes up the skeleton? That means, okay, there's going to be, it's okay, 206 bones are together going to be referred to as the skeleton. Now, before going into, yes, okay, talking about, yes, okay, the type of bones, the classification of the bones, the names of the bones, and so on, so on, so on, so on. So let's just, okay, briefly, yes, okay, mention, okay, what are the major functions of the skeletal system. Somehow. Okay, I got it. So first is going to be, yes, okay, support. Okay, support to what? Well, okay, yes, to, because that's okay, the body muscles. Okay, and mainly as okay, due to support, that's how it's okay, the skeletal system also is okay, provide us with what you can call is okay, a stature. Okay, because had it not been for the support of the bones to the skeletal muscles or to the muscles, you could mainly say, okay, the body would mainly have just been, okay, as a collection of mass, mainly as, okay, just floating or lying on the floor. Okay. So that's okay, mainly that's okay by providing support. What is it that it provides of it? Just okay, a stature, and that's just okay how we are going to be able to use this, okay. Stand up. Now, another function is going to be as okay, what we can call protection. Okay. And that's mainly as okay because we can say as okay that the bones are joined together in such a way that they actually is okay form yes okay some cavities like okay as we can say the cranial cavity. We can say as okay the spinal cavity. We can even say as okay things as okay as the ribs together with okay with the chest bone made up yes okay the thoracic cavity. So not only as okay provided room in which as okay different structures will be stored into those cavities, but as okay by providing them room to as okay be stored in, also as okay provided them with protection. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Another function, guys, is movement. Or we can ask, okay, more practically, then we just look at the movement of the joints. Okay. And that's where we mainly can say, okay, now this was mainly as okay, because that's okay. Together with the, skeletal muscles. Okay. Together with the skeletal muscle, yes, okay, because that's okay. The bones of the skeletal system would move across joint lines. So let's more. Yeah, so go. Shut. Did that make sense? Okay, so it's pretty much here where we can say, okay, that the skeletal muscles, along with the bones of the skeleton, actually is okay, will cause movements of the joints. Right, okay. But please, that's okay, as you remember, also as I mentioned earlier, it's okay, we had a muscle. We said that that muscle was going to, yes, okay, be attached onto bones. Oh, yes, okay, either side of the joints. There was going to be, yes, okay, contraction of the muscle that pull on the tendon that pulls on the bone across the joint and actually could cause the movement. Okay. Now, another function of your skeletal system is that may, yes, okay, your book may say, yes, okay, blood production. Or production of blood. To be more, yes, okay, we can, to be more specific, we can say a production of, or we can say a blood cell production. Because it's actually going to be, yes, okay, the production of the blood cells that is going to, yes, okay, take part, yes, okay, take place in the bone. Not in the bone as such, but in a substance called bone marrow. So bone marrow, well, okay, yes, is stored in the bones. You can mean that, okay, that maybe is okay, the reason that they call it bone marrow, because it is a substance found in the bones. And it's actually, it's okay, going to be in this bone marrow here. Here, the production of blood cells take place. Okay. Now we also, yes, okay, previously says, okay, that the production of blood cells or if you don't like the word production, or more correctly, we'll say, yes, okay, formation of blood cells was what we called, hematopoiesis. Right, okay. So hematopoiesis, yes, okay, happens in the skeletal system in the sense that, okay, yes, inside the bones is there going to be, yes, okay, a substance called bone marrow, and that's mainly, yes, okay, where the blood cells develop or are produced or formed. The whole process of production or formation of blood cells is called hematopoiesis. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, guys, we can go on to the next slide. Okay, the last but not the least function of the skeletal system is that it's going to store store minerals. Okay, because if we say that we have a bone. Now what we will have in the bone is this can say there will be osteocytes or bone cells. Okay. But what actually is going to because provide strength to the bone. It has some fibrous tissue and so on and so on. So in between the bone cells is going to be minerals. Now, two major minerals that we find in the bones is going to be respectively calcium and phosphorus. Right? Okay. Now we can say primarily where did these come from? These come from as our diet. Okay. But what do we need for this calcium is to be absorbed by the blood. We needed vitamin D. Only then could could the calcium be absorbed and actually provided to the bones. Did that make sense?
So you have to have vitamin D in order to absorb the mineral. Okay.
Exactly. So it's going to store. Okay. Now, from time to time, you may say, some of this calcium may get mobilized from the bone. But only to we can say be replaced by some more calcium. Okay. So our 5 major functions of the skeletal system is support. And as a result of that support to structure, that's how it gives us the stature. Yeah. I think she went over. Next is protection. Not only does it provide us a stature or support, but it also has the skeleton is designed in a way that you can say it produced primary things as as different cavities that we talked about. Cranial cavity is different bones that comes together to form a hollow space inside the skull called the cranial cavity, where the brain is protected. So for your spinal cavity, so for your thoracic cavity, even as your pelvic cavity. Okay, there's some framework that provides being the structures within those cavities with some sort of protection. Did that make sense? Okay, then we said movement. Okay, and that's where you come in. It says, okay, where is okay, the skeletal system and the muscular system is okay, coordinate with one another to cause movements across your joints. We said blood production. Why? Because it's okay inside, just okay, cavities in the bones. Not cavities formed by the bones, but actually it's okay, cavity inside the bone. Is there going to be as okay a space that will be called as okay a marrow cavity? And that's mainly as okay where we will find bone marrow. And what's going to be the function of this bone marrow? This is going to be as okay where most, not all, most of your blood cells will be produced. Will be produced in the bone marrow. Why I say most, you guys will realize that once we get to the system about blood. Okay, that was okay. That's going to be as okay a subtype of cells that is not going to be produced by the bone marrow, but actually it's okay somewhere else. That's why it's not all, but most blood cells are produced in the bone marrow. Where do we find this bone marrow? Well, okay, that's going to be found in a space or a cavity inside the bones. So actually, it's okay to see the bone marrow without you break the bone, right? Okay. Yep. Last but not the least, is also going to be as okay a major storage spot for minerals in the body. Right? Okay. Did you guys get that? Okay. Now the primary two minerals that we'll find is okay in the bones is going to be calcium and phosphorus. We can actually say that okay, yes, deposits or deposition of calcium to the bones is what you would call calcification. So what happens then? You say it's okay, calcification of the bone. That's mainly because calcium is being supported, okay, deposited in the bones. And what is that going to cause? That's mainly just okay, going to make the bones become bigger, and not just bigger, but stronger. So what happens when opposite happens? What do you call that when the opposite happens? That the bone actually is okay, loses calcium. That is going to be as okay, decalcification. And what happens as a result of that? The bones become weaker. Did that make any sense at all? Now, does anybody have any questions? So these are just okay, the 5 major functions of your skeletal system. Okay, and for one of the functions, yes, okay, we needed, yes, okay, to coordinate or cooperate or work in harmony.com with the muscular system. Right, okay. Okay, guys. Oh, let's just go back and Mhm. Okay, guys. Now we can say it's okay as far as okay the composition of bones is concerned. Yes, okay, we have two type of bones. We have okay as what we call compact bone. And we can say the compact bone versus what may be called yes, okay, spongy bone. Or spongy bone, yes, okay, can also be called okay, cancellous. Oh. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Okay. Now, sorry. Before we get to that, let's just take something else. Okay. Let's hope it doesn't do the same as it did yesterday. Can you guys see this one here?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just try to it's okay, enlarge it a little bit. Now this is pretty much okay as just a typical picture of okay as a type of bone that we can call as okay a long bone. Okay. To be more specific, as okay, this here may be as okay your tibia. Okay, or tibia or yes, okay. चलो लाश मत चलो. Now, if you say it's okay, a long bone, that's mean it's okay because it will have these ends here. Okay, or even here, we can say, okay, this is mean it's okay, just the bone cut up or slice in the middle. And the ends of the bones, because that's okay, the ends of the, yes, okay, long bone. That is going to be known as the epiphysis. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. And that's going to be okay a reason why we call it the epiphysis, which maybe is okay become as okay obvious if we look at it like this. Whereas okay, as in between is okay the two epiphyses, especially as okay of a long bone, which is this. Now in general terms, that's okay, we mean as okay, we'll call this the shaft. So we can say okay, the shaft of okay as the long bone. Now in general in English, it's okay, we call it a shaft, but that's going to be called the diaphysis. Yeah. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Good. Now, guys, in adult lives, or in adults as we call it, okay, there's a total of, oh shit. there's going to be a total of 206 bones in adults. But that is actually when different parts of what became one bone in adult life have been fused together. So roughly we can mainly say that's let's just assume that in what the hell? Child life, we can say this is going to where will be come one epiphysis. And this is what's going to become another epiphysis. And what we mean is we'll have in between that we can say is will be what eventually is let's do it this way. What eventually is becomes the diaphysis. Okay. But right now here is we can mean says which in adult life is going to be become one long bone. My then infantile life had been 1, 2, 3 bones. Are not really bones, but mainly as bodies of calcium. Now what we will have at, we can say it's this end of the bone here and this end of the bone here, or the diaphysis, is going to be as what actually is in adult life. It end up as what we can call as the epiphyseal plate. Which is mainly made up of cartilage. So in is cartilage. Did that make sense? And we can mainly say as as the bone in this area here is grows and grows and grows and grows and grows. In this direction. And this direction. Mainly because more and more cartilage is being produced, mainly because the previous cartilage was converted into bone. So that's actually going to be that what this cartilage here becomes, it becomes bone mainly because more cartilage is produced. But ultimately is this diaphysis will fuse with this epiphysis, and this are refused with this. And what we actually will be ending up having is, well, yes, this epiphyseal plate and this is epiphyseal place. Which still, as you grow, still continues to develop cartilage or new cartilage, mainly because the previous cartilage means just becomes bone tissues. Now at some point in your life, no more cartilage will produce or be produced. Which mainly will mean, well, since no more cartilage will be produced in the epiphyseal, what happens? No more cartilage can become more bone. And that's mainly as where they say as that the epiphyseal plate actually is fused. Which mainly will mean this bone here is not going to grow any longer. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, okay. I have some pictures on some slides. Okay, that's yes, okay. Mean is okay. What they can see is okay on the X-ray or on the image that this epiphyseal plate here is okay. Actually, is wholly and solely is okay. It's mean is okay converted into bone tissue. So you mean is okay. We just see it's okay a very thin line, which means your child that okay, as this bone here is or refused together, it's not going to grow any longer. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Now let's just okay, yes, erase a little bit of okay, yes, all the things that we did. I want this one here. Because that's okay, we say it's okay, you know, it was an example of a long bone. And what we actually is okay see now, if you look at the bone, or if you just look at it closer, like this, you may actually as okay see as okay two different textures of the bone material. For instance, okay, this outline here. And we can say it's okay, it's okay, this outline here. Clear? Or what you actually may see is okay, all around the bone. That is going to be as okay what we call compact bone. Whereas okay, especially it's okay on the ends of the bones, what you see is here, for instance. And here is okay here. It's going to be as okay more loosely packed bones, or bone cells as we may call them later on, which is going to be as okay a form of what we call as okay the spongy bone. Now this spongy bone is okay, we also called it
Out. One.
cancellous bone. Did you guys get that?
Yep.
And what you actually as okay may see here inside is okay the shaft of the bone. Now I'm coloring it blue here, but it's okay this yellowish substance here. That was your bone marrow. But you also as okay may see it okay that we also find as okay this yellowish substance that's okay in the gaps between yes okay the bone cells and the spongy bone. So that's also yes okay where you have bone marrow. Sorry, girls, don't get bothered by her. Okay, so did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so what we mainly can say that okay, yes, this space here is okay within the bone, which stores okay the bone marrow. That was mainly is okay what we call is okay the marrow cavity. Okay, but that's okay in this case. Okay, it's okay if the long end. That's okay the ends of the long bones where we actually is okay are going to have what we call spongy bone or yes okay calcaneous bone. The spaces between yes okay the bone cells is also as okay going to be filled with bone marrow. But that's me as okay. That's me as okay going to be the tissue where yes okay your blood cells are being produced. Did that make any sense at all?
Yep.
Good. Okay. So yes, okay. Two types of bones that we have was compact bone versus spongy and or cancellenius bone. Okay. Now, guys, you may see as okay that there's something else mentioned here as well. Okay. And we may as okay call that the periosteum. Now the word ost was mainly as okay from bone. The mainly as okay because this whole thing is going to be as okay in the name of a substance. A substance that what is surrounding the bone.
Come here.
Just excuse me for a sec, guys.
She's tired. She's tired. Come on, let's go.
Sorry, guys. What can you do? Kids. You have any? Okay, those of you who don't, best of luck. Now she has seen her birthday gifts, so she already wants them. Okay, peace be with that. Now, guys, let's do it this way. And okay, let me just go to another slide. Because we can say it's okay, we have the bone. Okay. So this is mainly as okay our bone. Okay. What we may as okay find that okay as at the end of the bones. Well, okay, yes, that's going to be cartilage. I mean, it's okay because that's going to be at the end of the bones. In this case, it's okay where this is going to okay form a joint. That's why we also may call it as okay joint cartilage. Okay. Now, surrounding the bone. Oh, that's true. Let's go. Now, surrounding the bone. Surrounding the bone is going to be as okay a membrane that we will call the periosteum. So all that was okay as a membrane that surrounds the bone. Likewise, so that's okay in the middle. We have okay, as we can say, okay, the bony material. Let's do it this way. So that's going to be as okay, the bony material. Again, it's okay, we have sliced up the bone. Now, although not shown on your bone in the book, but on the inside is also going to be a okay membrane. And that is going to be, it's okay, what we'll call endosteum. So that's going to be, it's okay, that's going to be a membrane that we can say, it's okay, lines inside of the bone. And now inside all this is going to be, it's okay, the bone marrow. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Okay. So please keep in mind, guys, that okay, as there is a membrane that's made as okay, going to just okay, cover up, or it's going to just okay, be encircling the bone on the outer surface, on the outside, which is called the periosteum. Where there's going to be, it's okay, likewise. Sorry. Thinner membrane on the inside of the bone, which is going to be called the endosteum. So periosteum surrounding the bone, endosteum is okay, lining the inside of the bone. Is that clear?
Yep.
Yes.
Any questions?
Nope.
Okay, guys. Now we can go back and say it's okay. You can say it's okay, compact bone versus spongy or calcareous bone. Now you can say it's okay. One thing that's going to be as okay common in both of these bones here is that they're both going to as okay be. We can write this in the middle. Be made up of what we can call osteocytes, which we later on will refer to as okay as bone cells. Is that clear? Where the main difference in between is okay spongy, as okay compact bone versus spongy and calcareous bone is going to be that okay as in compact bone. We can mean is okay say that the osteocytes are more compactly or densely packed together. And primarily as okay due to as okay the bone cells being more as okay compact or densely packed together. That's why it's okay. This is primarily going to be as okay because it's okay heavier. But it's also going to be as okay the one that is going to be stronger. Did you guys get that? Whereas, okay, good. Whereas on the other side, or on the other hand, we can say, okay, when we call it spongy or calcareous bone, we can mainly say this way that that's going to be as okay, that okay, as the bone cells or as okay, our osteocytes are, because they're going to be more loosely packed together. Did that make sense? Now, what that does is that's going to cause us, okay, that this bone here is going to be as, okay, as far as weight is concerned, is going to be as, okay, lighter. Okay. But we can also say, okay, due to as, okay, the loosely packed bone cells, it's also, okay, it's going to be as, okay, weaker. Yeah. Okay. Any questions at this point here?
No.
Now, again, it's okay whether it was bone cells or whether it was compact or loose or spongy bones. We can actually say that, okay, yes, the osteocytes are arranged in a circular arrangement that actually is, okay, will produce what we call the aversion system. Is that clear? So, okay, let's do it this way. Now, guys, it's the osteocytes and the osteocytes. Now, for us, okay, for compact bone, we can maybe say it's okay that these osteocytes here, individual osteocytes, are going to be as, okay, closer to one another or closely packed to one another. But it's okay arranged in this as, okay, circular arrangement, or as, okay, concentric arrangement, as some people also may call it. And this is going to just, okay, form what we call an aversion system. And in the center of this aversion system, okay, let's see. And in the center of this aversion system is going to be, okay, this canal that we call the aversion canal. But we can actually say it's, okay, just like, okay, as we said yesterday, that, okay, as sarcomere became fascicle became muscle. Likewise, okay, we can say it's, okay, your bone is going to be made up of multiple aversion systems. Is that clear? So the basic, yes, okay, unit of bone tissue will be, as, okay, what we call aversion system. which is mean is okay going to be as okay this circular is okay concentric is okay arrangement of the bone cells called osteocytes. Now the main difference between is okay spongy bone or cancellous bone versus compact bone is that okay as in compact bone, these bone cells here are going to be more closely packed. Whereas, okay, as in the spongy bone, the bone cells are going to be loosely packed. But they will still form as, okay, or they will still be arranged in, okay, at this circular arrangement known as a Haversian system. And Haversian system comes as, okay, get together, cheers, okay, eventually is okay, form the bone mass. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so please, yes, okay. Please make sure that you know what a Haversian system is. Okay. Now, as far as okay, the compact bone, as I said, okay, the cells are going to be as okay more compactly or closely or densely packed. To me, that's okay. That's where it's okay. That's why they call it compact bone. Whereas, okay, as spongy bone is mainly going to be as okay where the bone cells are. It's okay. More is going to be as okay loosely packed together. Okay. Now, mainly as okay due to as okay more compaction, more strength of the bone cells. Okay, the part of the bone which is made up of compact bone is going to be heavier. Where okay here is going to be as okay lesser bone tissue. That's going to as okay be lighter. Okay, now I have some slides on, okay, yes, my PowerPoints that I want to show. Not PowerPoints from the book. Can you guys see this here?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's okay, a similar example of, okay, as a long bone. And the book figure says, okay, they gave you, yes, okay, an example of the tibia. Yes, okay, here, this is just a picture of your, of the femur. Okay, but as you said, the ends of long bones, that was what we call the epiphysis. So whether it was this end here or this end here, we call that the epiphysis. Clear? Where, okay, as the major body of the bone could be referred to as the shaft, but technically as okay will be referred to as the diaphysis. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now in a bone like this, you mainly see as okay that the shaft mainly is going to as okay be made up of compact bone. Where okay when we go to the epiphysis, it's only going to be as okay the outermost lining, outermost covering of the bone that is going to be made up of compact bone. Whereas inside that compact bone is going to be spongy bone. Did that make any sense? And in the shaft is there going to be, it's okay, the central canal here, or not central canal, it's okay, maybe it's okay, we can call it, okay, the marrow canal, or marrow cavity, which is going to, okay, store the bone marrow. Did you guys get that? So the epiphysis is going to be, okay, the ends of a long bone, the main shaft is going to be called the, or body is going to be called the diaphysis. Any questions, guys?
No.
Now, as I said earlier, it's okay. For instance, okay, this here is okay was, well, okay, just an end of a bone. This is the epiphysis. This is the diaphysis. This is the epiphysis. This is the diaphysis. This is the epiphysis. This is the diaphysis. And what you actually may see between is going to be, okay, what we call the epiphyseal plate. Epiphyseal plate, which is mainly, okay, just a plate of cartilage that as we are growing is randomly, yes, okay, going to be calcified, or it's okay, replaced by bone material, and okay, as more and more and more cartilage will be produced as long as the bone is in the growing stage. Okay, whereas okay, yes, usually it's okay when it's fused together. Here you can see it's okay, the outline is clear. So we can actually say this is the diaphysis, this is the epiphysis, epiphysis, diaphysis. Okay, so that mainly means, okay, yes, this is, okay, you still have, okay, the clear line here. Here, you can mean, okay, we are just left with a plate, which means this bone here is not going to just, okay, get any longer anymore. It is fused together. Okay, so what are you, okay, doing your development was 2 or 3 or even, okay, 4 pieces of bone becomes 1 bone. So that's why it's okay, children or newborn have more bones than we have, because it's actually going to be, okay, XYZ number of bones that eventually is, okay, will fuse together to become 1 bone in adult life. Did you guys get that?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, but it's actually going to be, okay, at the epiphyseal plates that the bone is going to be growing. Okay. And you guys see this fellow here, or this diagram. Now this thing here, that is an inversion system. Yeah. What was it made up of? Mainly, it's okay, as we says, okay, say circular arrangement of osteocytes or bone cells. Okay, okay. So this thing here is okay, we can say, okay, that is one inversion system. You may see as okay another inversion system here. You may see as okay another inversion system here. You may see as okay another inversion system here. Did that make sense? Okay, so the inversion system, what was it? Okay, where is it? Okay. So it's going to be as okay, has the osteocyte arranged in a concentric circle around the inversion canal. Because in the middle of that inversion system, or in the middle of that inversion system is going to be as okay, what we call the inversion canal. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay. where we can say, okay, this means, okay, there's one circle, another circle, another circle, another circle, that's okay, of osteocytes, or what we actually is okay later on will refer to as the actual bone cells. Okay, or if yes, okay, look at the bone here, you can say, okay, this is one Haversian system, this is an Haversian system, this is an Haversian system, this is a Haversian system. They come together to make up a bone. Well, okay, on the outer side of the bone, we have, yes, okay, the periosteum, but okay, although they haven't shown it here, but it's okay, on the inner side is going to be, okay, a relatively thinner membrane that will be called the endosteum. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. Okay, guys. Now here, can you guys see this?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. So what do we see here? Mainly as, okay, the two types of bones. This yellowish, or this part of the bone here that appears yellow, is actually it's going to be as, okay, compact bone. Okay, so you can say as, okay, it's mainly compact, mainly because you don't see as, okay, any empty spaces in it compared to as, okay, what you see here. What here is, okay, appears as, okay, as there's a red color that is going to be as, okay, be spongy bone. Okay, so you mainly will see as, okay, if this is the end of a long bone, for instance, as, okay, you may see as, okay, outline of the bone is covered by compact bone. On the inner side is going to be spongy bone. Okay, and okay, yes, although it's okay, we don't see it here, but it's okay, all these spaces in the spongy bone is also going to be filled up with bone marrow. Clear? Did you guys get that? Or likewise here, you look at this spongy, no, sorry, compact bone, compact bone. Here we just have, okay, the marrow, marrow cavity or marrow canal, which is going to just, okay, be filled with bone marrow. Otherwise, it's okay. An end of the bone is mean that's okay, going to be a mixture of the two. Outer line, compact bone. On the inside is going to be as, okay, sorry, spongy bone. And the whole reason for us, okay, is to have, yes, okay, spongy bone is, well, you can mainly says, okay, it's going to be lighter. Okay. Lighter in weight, as we may call it. Right, okay. Which made us, okay, will make it easier for your muscles to move a bone. Had the bone been as, okay, compact bone all the way through, it would be heavier. And that was going to mean that, okay, as just making, okay, as a simple movement of any joint was going to be as, okay, just like yes, okay, doing weightlifting. Clear? Not just that, but it's okay, also it's okay, provide space for your bone marrow. Now, guys, have any of you ever been to the butcher's shop? Okay, and you may wonder, yes, okay, what would the bone marrow be like? Now, if you mainly says, okay, well, okay, I went to the butcher's shop the other day. I bought, yes, okay, a nice piece of meat. So this is the meat or the flesh, or as we now know, yes, okay, is the muscle, which is the flesh, which is okay, yes, the yummy that we eat. We can also say, yes, okay, inside that, well, okay, it's not going to be blue, but we can say, yes, okay, what marks the blue here is okay, that is the bone. And most likely, that's okay, inside the bone, you will find, yes, okay, this fatty material. And that's going to be the bone marrow. Is that clear? Now, guys, as far as bone marrow is concerned, there may be, yes, okay, two types of bone marrow. We can do it this way. There may be, yes, okay, what we call yellow bone marrow. Is that clear?
Yeah.
And or you may have, yes, okay, what we call red bone marrow. Fish.
Yep.
Now, guys, red bone marrow. That is actually, yes, okay, going to be, yes, okay, the bone marrow for formation of blood cells. Now, it may sound as okay, crazy, but as we grow older, what used to be as okay, red bone marrow in our childhood or preteens and so on, so on, so slowly and slowly and slowly as okay is going to as okay get more and more and more replaced by fat. And eventually it's okay become what we call yellow bone marrow. Okay. Now, does that mean that all the red bone marrow is going to be replaced by yellow bone marrow? No, not all of it. But we can say, okay, the areas or the parts or the bones in the body where we will find red bone marrow is going to be as okay reduced. So in adult life, guys, the main regions or the main bones that's okay where you find red bone marrow is going to be as okay in bone like the sternum, the chest bone, some areas of your ribs, and okay, yes, your vertebrae, and what we'll call, yes, okay, the iliac crest. That's the bones where, yes, okay, the red bone marrow is limited to, yes, okay, during adult years. Where you may says, okay, in all the other bones, that's okay. If you find any bone marrow, that is going to be yellow bone marrow. You may says, okay, that the red bone marrow is mean, it's okay, marrow is going to be replaced by, what do you want to call it, more and more fat tissue. Did that make any sense?
So as you get older, the yellow bone marrow replaces the red bone marrow. Okay.
But not totally, because that's okay. That was the case at some point. It's okay, you will not be able to just produce new red blood cells. But you can say that the amount of red bone marrow is going to decrease by age, mainly because it is being replaced by fat. And that fatty marrow is just what you call yellow bone marrow. Did that make sense? Okay. But it is in your red bone marrow. Where it's okay, you can say it's okay, the formation of blood cells is carried on. That's why we said, okay, as the skeletal system plays a role in blood formation, because it's going to be as okay what stores onto the bone marrow. Any questions? Any questions, guys? Okay. Now, as far as okay, as that endochondrial and development of bone is concerned, you don't need to worry about that. Just we're going to just okay talk about 3 types of bone cells. Okay, so for now, as okay, until now, as okay, I've been saying as okay, osteocytes, bone cells, right? Clear? But we can say it's okay if we want to classify as okay our bone cells into as okay different types. There are going to be 3 different types of bone cells. Clear? And what are those? So let's just do it this way, and we can say it's okay. Just to make it simple, we can say it's okay, bone cells are of 3 types. Now, one is going to be as okay, what we'll call the osteoblast with a B like a boom. Did you guys get that? So one type of blood cells is going to be as okay, what we will call the osteoblasts with a B like a boom. Now, the other type of bone cells is going to be as okay, what we will call the osteocytes. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. And our last type of blood cells is going to be what we will call the osteoclast. Now, I hope all of you is okay. Realize that okay, as in all these 3 words, the word osteo mainly is okay, just refers to bone. Is that clear?
Yep.
Good. Now, guys, a concept, and when you see, it's okay, the name of a bone, it's not the name of a bone, sorry. the name of a cell. Let's put it this way. When you see the name of a cell, osteo, followed by the suffix blast with a B like a boom. B as in boom. Blast. Boom. Okay. What that blast mainly is okay is going to is okay mean that this cell here is the premature cell. Of bone. So an osteoblast with a B like a boom is mainly as okay just a premature bone cell, or what we actually as okay will refer to as we can also say that's going to be as okay premature osteocyte. Did that make sense? So what the word blast mainly as okay will signify is that this is a premature cell. Of the bone, or a premature bone cell, or what we also can say as okay, a premature osteocyte. Which mainly as okay just brings us to the next fellow, which is going to be as okay the osteocytes itself. So this is going to as okay just be as okay that mature bone cell. The cell that actually is okay is going to as okay form that aversion system, and it's going to as okay lead to as okay the bone formation. But what it was before it became an osteocyte, it was what we call the osteoblast. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, girls or guys. Now, although we said it, that okay, yes, once your bone is formed, once it is fused, you can say the ends are met together and so on. So, okay. We said, okay, the bone is not going to grow any longer beyond this point here. Clear? But that doesn't mean that, okay, yes, that the formation of bone cells is stopped. Is that clear? So continuously, what still is going to happen is that we can say as okay, old bone cells may get replaced by new bone cells. Or we can say as okay, old osteocytes are continuously replaced by new osteocytes. Did that make sense? Now, some of you may be scratching your heads and say, but what the hell happens to the old bone cells? They're just old. We can't send them off to live the rest of their lives on an isolated island. Okay. That's where your osteoclasts come into action. Because what are these osteoclasts going to be? These are going to be bone cells. Or let us write it down so we have it on green and white. So what are osteoclasts? Well, okay, they are still going to be as okay bone cells because we said that okay, they are bone cells. But what is that they will do? That you can say okay, secretes enzymes. And what is that this enzyme here will be doing? You can say okay, dowry is okay. Should that's okay. That actually that's okay. Well, lies or break down the old osteocytes. Did that make sense? But these old osteocytes that are made is okay going to be broken down. And we can say okay, lies stop or dissolved or broken down. Mainly as okay, just are going to be replaced by osteoblasts with a B like a boom that will mature into new blood bone cells. Did you guys get that? So as the old bone cells are being lysed, broken down by the action of the osteoclasts, those old cells or bone cells or osteocytes are just going to be replaced by new osteocytes, which develop from the osteoblasts from a B like a boom. So it's a continuous circle. Have you guys heard the song "The Circle of Life"? Lion King. Where's that? People who lived on the earth 1,000 years ago, where are they now? Dead, gone, and buried, right? But did the human race finish? No, because they were just replaced by new people. Did that make sense? So the same happens here. Yes, okay. As people die, yes, okay. Or as you can say, it's okay. Souls depart, new souls come. So as long as you can say, yes, okay, the balance between, yes, okay, the action of the osteoclasts and the balance between and the osteoblasts becoming osteocytes, as long as that is in balance, you may know. So, okay, well, then there's going to be no net changes in the bone. It's a different story when the osteoclasts increase their action and the osteoblast that matures to become new cells or osteocytes is reduced. And that's one of the main things that happens in, okay, that's what you may have known or what you guys may have heard of, which they call that's okay, osteoporosis. Why? That's okay. There you can mainly say that okay, there's going to be more bone cells that will be lysed than new bone cells being produced. And that's when, yes, okay, you may recognize or you may have heard of, okay, yes, your grandparents or as okay, and a little person in the family used to be standing as okay, 6 feet 3 inches tall. And what is he or she now? 5'2". Probably not that much, but like okay, you will see. Okay. And you can also see as okay, that also causes that okay, yes, the bones then also as okay become more brittle, or easy to break, right? Did that make any sense? Okay. And what causes that? Well, okay, yes, it may be hormonal. It may be hormones. So osteoporosis is one of those conditions, yes, okay, which hits women harder than men. So it's okay. There is some, yes, okay, you can say, okay, some effects of, okay, yes, that's okay, yes, okay, due to the hormones. So please keep in mind, guys, osteoblasts become osteocytes, and those osteocytes will eventually, yes, okay, live their life, and eventually, yes, okay, may get Pac-Man by the osteoclasts. Just so that new osteoblasts can become new osteocytes. Did that make any sense at all?
Yes.
Good. Now, is there anybody who has any questions? Now, this one mainly, yes, okay, we can just, okay, say our general intro to the skeletal system. Or let's say it's okay, the composition, the buildup, the types of bones, the types of bone cells. Is that clear? Anybody want to say anything now? Now, guys, you can take your lunch break. Are you guys ready for that? Good. And what would you like to do afterwards?
Are we done with the skeletal system? I didn't think so.
No. This is just the beginning, my dear. Okay, guys, since you have a quiz tomorrow, what I can offer you guys is okay as some self-study time. Now, what I would mean by that is, well, okay, yes, or what I would recommend is that okay, as you take that extra time that you may be given to, yes, okay, try to study some of the material that will be on the quiz. No, I will be, yes, okay, although it's okay, you may not see me or hear me, but yes, okay, I will be here. So if at any point, yes, okay, you have any questions, you are more than welcome to say, Mike, do you mind, yes, okay, go over this once again, or talk about this, or explain it, or so, or any question that you have. Okay. Does that sound fair enough? Okay, so hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, okay, I think they have okay a whole thing set up at the school. So let's see. Now, since it's okay as your quiz / Halloween, ding 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 dong dong, you guys okay may come in your Halloween outfit. Did you guys receive an email? Good. So yes, okay, whether or not yes, okay, you are there anyway. So why not just come in a crazy Halloween outfit? Okay, and let's see. Now, off the record.